It's time to talk about day 7. What did we learn on day 7? We listened to a forensic accountant for almost 8 hours and learned really how broke Kouri was, how she was taking loans upon loans upon loans to pay other loans, how her accounts were always in the negative because she was bouncing checks left and right. Now, if you haven't been following the case, Kouri is facing life in prison for allegedly taking the life of her husband, Eric, in 2022. According to the state, she did it because she was tapped out financially, because she signed a prenup. If they divorced, she wasn't going to get anything. But if he died, she would acquire all of the life insurances, including the one that they state that she forged his signature on. Now, Brooke, the forensic accountant, shared when the defense asked her, she was paid $200,000 to do all of this work for the prosecution. Brooke, you didn't get paid enough. You did not get paid enough. In fact, I'm pretty sure they owe you another $200K. One of the things that they go over Kouri's accounts is the fact that she was constantly paying loans. At the beginning of her business, and just in case you aren't aware, she would purchase homes and rehab them. The purpose is to rehab them quickly, get them on the market, make your money. But according to a forensic accountant, it seemed like her business grew a little bit too fast, a little bit too quickly, and she didn't know what the hell she was doing. She was trying to keep up. She wasn't selling the houses as quickly as she should. Now, what do they show in these bank statements? She showed that she bounced almost $300,000 in checks that she would write out to herself. She would bounce them. On top of that, she was constantly paying loans out of other money that she would receive. She was paying payday loans, same-day payday loans. She was doing loans with high interest just to try to get that to pay the other loans. She had maxed out credit cards to pay loans. She brings up the fact that they even shared text messages where she was talking to her friend who was buying a property. Her friend transfers over $45,000. She takes 20 grand of that and deposits it into the joint account, pretty much as if that is what she contributed to the family. But instead, she actually did not give that down payment when she was supposed to that home in the closing. But instead, I believe they gave her like a few extra weeks for her to come up with the money. I don't know if her friend even knew that this had happened. They all the time show, though, her husband's accounts in his business were always in the 200s. They were positive, no chaos. As time progressed and the years passed, she started owing more and more money, to the point that she even had a lender send her an email saying, hey, your credit score is significantly less than what I thought. You're right at the 650s. I know you have a lot of money in your accounts. I'm just trying to figure out how, these accounts or, your credit is maxed out. What does Kouri respond? Yes, I just found out about that from my husband. That is one of the reasons why we are separated. He apparently wasn't paying my credit cards or paying them off as expected. They're now paid off. So they asked her, the forensic accountant, were these credit cards paid off? No, they were not paid off. Furthermore, they even bring up the fact that she has a website where she shared the fact she was a realtor, the fact that she had a master's in HR, which helped her be successful in managing over 150 employees. Then they ask the forensic accountant, do you show any type of payroll and stuff? She goes, well, I see she paid $1,000 here, $2,000 here. It really depends on how much her employees are getting paid. But would she have more than 2 to 3 employees? Probably not. And she continued doing business with so many other loan companies to the point where it was hard for them to approve her because, again, her credit. So what did she start doing? She started putting her mom on the titles or on the loans. Her mom's credit, her mom's history, all of that. But it shows that her mom actually never contributed any funds or anything like that. It was just because they would require a co-signer. Keep in mind, she had a business of flipping homes. And the day that he died, she was closing on a property that was over $2 million, I believe. And then they ask her about that property. They ask her, okay, she's purchasing this property to rehab it. Does she have the money to do that? She said no. Furthermore, I believe she got between 3 to 4 loans to even be able to purchase that particular home, leaving her completely tapped out with $0 to even rehab the home that she purchased. My question here is this. How does your spouse not know? Your spouse owns a successful business. You can tell financially they were doing very well. He had a team of employees, right? How does your spouse not know that you're tapped out on all of your credit cards? You are $4 million in debt. In fact, she stated that if she was to sell all of the properties that she owned, because she's not turning them over quickly, if she was to sell all of the properties, everything that she owned, she would still have been $2 million in the hole. $2 million in the hole is insane. They also bring up the fact that, she took a loan out against Eric's home because she wasn't on the home. Eric purchased that home prior to them getting married. So what did she do? She went and got a loan, a $200,000 loan against that home that was worth almost $1 million. That was almost 70% paid off. And she gets that loan and not forges his signature, but signs on his behalf as power of attorney, as if she did it for him. He ends up finding out, which is apparently when he decided to move his estate and everything under his sister. Then she gets life insurance. I believe she gets like $1.3 or $4 million in life insurance. I believe within 4 to 5 days, that money is completely 100% gone. And she gave her boyfriend $25,000 of that money. Of course, the whole point of showing all of this is that she was completely tapped out. She didn't have any money. Frankly, I don't even know how she slept that night. The lies that she would tell people, blaming Eric for her issues or lying. In fact, they said that she lied on her tax returns. She lied about the amount of money she received. She lied about the money that she had in her accounts. She even lied about her business transactions. In other words, I'm just wondering if she would eventually been caught and arrested. I don't know if this proves murder. What are your thoughts on this? Because she was still in the hole. Still in the hole. Let's go into day 8 soon. Talk to you soon.